Brooks, the O-lineman for the Eagles, spoke at the commencement speech.
And what did he talk about?
You told me that, yeah.
It was like a what do you call it? It was like a made-up... He had like a script writer to look good for the college, but it was a scripted, over-politicized, in my opinion, over-politicized speech, and, he really didn't have anything. He was just kind of like a Super Bowl champion.
Did you see who Hofstra had last week as their commencement speech? They actually had two, but the main one, did you see who they had? I thought it was a really good get. I thought it was kind of smart.
It wasn't Chuck Schumer?
It was Ronan Farrow.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
I don't know who that is.
Ronan Farrow
sounds familiar.
Ronan Farrow is the son of Woody Allen and Mia Farrow.
Oh.
More importantly, he's the guy who broke the Weinstein story, the whole...
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, hold on. I thought Hannibal Buress brought the whole... Oh, wait, no, that was Bill Cosby.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
right.
Hannibal Buress, the guy from...
Did they get Hannibal Lecter?
From the...
Hannibal Buress, the comedian.
No, from the Eric Andre show.
Eric Andre show.
Yes.
He broke that story. That
he was doing stand-up.
It was him and Tina Fey who broke it.
Oh.
Because Tina Fey...
He was doing it in his stand-up.
Hannibal Buress got nothing out of it. He's still on some 15-minute show.
But we know who he is.
Yeah,
No, he's actually now, because of that, he's got cachet, because you know who he is. He's the guy who broke the fourth wall and said that Bill Cosby is this.
But also it hurt his career in the same vein, because when you think about it, have you seen Hannibal Buress? And he's a really funny comedian. Have you seen him in anything major?
And now he's serious.
And the answer is no.
There was a guy named Dick Gregory in the 60s who was a comedian, very funny comedian, but he went into two things. He went into becoming a weight loss guru and a civil rights guy, and now he's extremely serious. Those are two very serious issues.
Just like
and
Chuck
he's not
Norris.
funny anymore. It's just not, he's just...
Sorry.
So that's what happened. Buress is now bigger than...
Comedy. He's bigger than comedy.
It's like Key and Peele. It's like they were a team. Before it used to be that... the one guy, the better-looking guy, was the guy who was getting on the TV shows, whatever. But then the other guy goes and writes the movie, writes and directs. What's the name of the movie? I can't forget. Good God, it was a big one that won the Oscar for writing. So, is that Jordan Peele?
They did the famous Super Bowl names.
Yes, they did.
I can't believe I didn't.
But I didn't tell you the big news of the day.
All right, what's the news?
Well, the news of the day.
Old Timers Day roster release.
Oh, for God's
Scott
sake.
Kamenicki.
The Giambino.
Where's the...
The Giambino, right?
Yeah, the Giambino.
You guys are that excited about it. I met the guy. I'm not that excited about it.
But you're not a Mike Francesa fan. There's a big significance behind it.
Well, I understand. He hates Giambi.
So, because the people prank call. And so somebody left a tweet to Mike today saying, "Hey, Mike, Jason Giambi is making his first Old Timers Day appearance for the Yankees. Any chance to Nick sign him and pair him up with Porzingis?"
Please tell me he commented on this tweet.
I'll hang up and listen. That was...
I always thought the fun... I was saying this when I was a kid. Why they'd have the Old Timers game, and they would have players play the positions that they played when they actually were players. And I'm like, why... maybe the pitchers and the catchers aren't as good as they used to be. Let someone else play that position. Why do you have these guys do that? But that's what they do.
Aaron Boone's going to be in it. Why is he going to be in it?
He's the freaking manager.
He's the manager.
But he's got a game to prepare for. He's got a game. He's the manager.
So did Joe Girardi.
It's baseball. Managers don't really do much.
Yeah, well, and what a low blow. The first Old Timers Day after you just fired Joe Girardi unceremoniously, bring him back and have him catch.
Do you see? It's not going to happen, but do you see what team is talking about having him as a manager?
Who?
The White Sox.
Yeah.
Because he's a Chicago guy, but that's not the job he wants. He doesn't want that job.
Well, what is he? He is a great developer of talent, and the White Sox have one of the best farm systems in the majors.
Well, they need a catcher right now because Wellington Castillo
got busted for
80 days. So here's the list of those scheduled to attend Yankees Old Timers Day.
Yeah.
Jesse Barfield, who was 80s, late 80s.
Barfield.
Ron Bloomberg, who we've had on the show before, but he had his book DH called Designated Hebrew, was the name of his book, because he was always said to be he's Jewish, but he was said to be the first designated hitter, which is technically correct because the real first designated hitter was a guy named Orlando Cepeda, who was a DH for the Red Sox in the same game, but he walked. So it did not count as an at-bat. It counted as a plate appearance. So the question of who had the first at-bat as a designated hitter, it's Ron Bloomberg. But really, the plate appearance was Orlando Cepeda, but no one knows that. Then Brian Boringer. Brian, really? okay. Aaron Boone, Jim Bouton, okay, legend in terms of wrote the book. Scott Bradley, holy moly. Dr. Bobby Brown, okay, legend. Homer Bush, which I love because I remember I was on a jury one time and the woman I was with, she was the accountant for the Yankees. She's like, Homer Bush takes Darryl Strawberry's pee tests. That's what she told me. I was like, that's the best thing I got out of that jury.
Were you the foreman?
No, I was not. We were alternates. David Cohn.
Yep.
Johnny Damon.
Great.
Ron Davis, Ike's father, rather. Johnny Damon, fresh from Dancing with the Stars. Bucky Blankendent. Al Downing, Brian Doyle, hero of the 78 playoffs. Mariano Duncan.
Who?
Mariano Duncan was a middle infielder, second shortstop. John Flaherty. Whitey Ford. Jason Giambi, Ron Guidry, Charlie Hayes.
We got to say who's the first appearance.
Have I told you my Charlie Hayes story? All right. So it's what year is this? It's 1996. Was it 97? Maybe it's 97. Yeah, because they were married a year before I was. So we're going to this guy that my wife's old college roommate's fiance. They were getting married, so we were going to his bachelor party. He lived in Baldwin. We went to the Outback in Merrick first, and then we were going to the city to places you'd go in the city, right? Gentlemen's establishments. And we couldn't leave because one of the guys, this guy, friend of the groom, was a huge Yankee fan. So we had to watch the Yankee, and we're like, we want to get in the city. We got to go to the city now. Blah, blah, blah. No. We get to the train, Baldwin train station. Blah blah blah. No. We got to go
in Merrick.
Merrick was Outback. Baldwin's where the guys lived. We were going to the train station. So I'm like, we got to get there. And so he's like, no. We got to wait for the Yankee game to end. So the game ends with Charlie Hayes taking 3 could care less swings at him. I mean, really, he just didn't even care. It was like he didn't want to be there. 3 pitches out of the strike zone. You would just terrible bad. So we have to take the railroad in, take a taxi cab, get to the establishment. Who's at the bar on drink number 3? Charlie Hayes.
You're hanging out with Rick on 33rd Street?
No, it's the 21st Street. 21st Street. But it was hilarious because it's like, you know what? We're like, do you see this? This guy didn't care about the game as much as you did because he's on drink number 3 sitting at the bar while we were stuck on the railroad and the train and the subway. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
And what
taxi.
is it?
And they're at the bar at a gentleman's club is Charlie Hayes. No more than an hour and a half after he just ended the game with 3 of the most lackadaisical swings you ever did see. So I'm like, all right, Charlie. Let's see more names. Arlene Howard, widow of Elston Howard. Helen Hunter, widow of Catfish Hunter. Reggie Jackson. Deion James, of all people. Deion James is best known for he's an outfielder with the Braves who hit a bird with a fly ball.
Is there humanitarian laws in that state?
Jay Johnston was a real character. In fact, he's in the movie The Naked Gun as a baseball player. He was a real character with the Mariners and the Dodgers. And Scott Kamenecki was the ultimate 4th or 5th starter, essentially. Scott Kamenecki. Don Larson, person of the game. Graham Lloyd. Graham Lloyd was a guy who the Yankees tried to give back in a deal because they felt like there was an injury player, and then all of a sudden Graham Lloyd became a hero of the '96 playoffs, and also was so big Australian who would in fights would always be the guy they go behind. Hector Lopez, Jill Martin, Billy Martin's widow. Yeah, Billy. He was always quite the faithful guy. Lee Mazzilli, Ramiro Mendoza. Speaking of 5th starters,
Jill Martin's the girl from
the TV.
Yeah, who's from Plainview.
Who else? Gene Monahan, trainer. Diana Munson, widow of Thurman. Kay Mercer, widow of Bobby. Jeff Nelson. Paul O'Neill. Andy Pettit. Lou Piniella, because Pinella's not doing anything, right? Willie Randolph. Bobby Richardson. Mickey Rivers. Nick Swisher.
Love it.
Love it.
Now, here's a name I don't know the name whatsoever, and you're going to have to help me here. Maybe he's a guy from the 60s. I don't know. But I've never heard the name. Frank Tepedino. Tepedino. Does anyone out there know who Frank Tepedino is? I've never heard the name.
Neither have I.
don't know.
That's a question for
the Yankees from 1967 to 1972.
Google.
Oh, so they're bad years. Those were really bad years for the Yankees.
Question for the Volker, right?
Marcus Thames, who's deaf, as I understand it, right? Marcus Thames is deaf, and Roy White. So they've got enough guys grizzled in there from the various eras of the Whitey Ford and Don Larson.
You got to hear some of these. They bring this guy back for all time. Hold on. Mark Tepedino.
Frank Tepedino?
I'm sorry, not Frank. Mark Tepedino. Excuse me, Frank Tepedino. I'm sitting next to a Mark. That's why I said that. His numbers are awful. Why is he here? His lifetime average is, what? Maybe, I guess. 241. What, like 6 home runs his whole career, 122 hits. Why is he here?
That's bizarre, unless they want to say...
Oh, hold on. He does have a great year in here. Wow, that came out of nowhere.
With whom?
With the Yankees. I'm sorry. His great year came with the Braves.
Yeah, wow.
What is he doing here?
With the Milwaukee Braves?
My only
Atlanta.
My only guess could be that he represents, that the Yankees want to say that continuously they have someone represented from because they got Whitey Ford there. So they have somebody represented from the 40s consecutively, meaning no gaps, and they can get 67 to 73 and say that they have...
Well, they definitely got that.
Because Bloomberg was 73, 74 kind of era.
So who's the guy who sits...
Thurman was 70, early 70s.
Who's the guy who sits at the bottom of the dugout and waves that everyone gives like a, hey, that was Phil Rizzuto for how many years?
I'm sorry.
Greatest living Yankee, Joe DiMaggio, as he always insisted it had to be said. He can only be introduced as greatest living baseball player, greatest living Yankee.
But based on what you just said, the reasoning for having a guy like that, he's just lucky because he's the only one that didn't die yet? Is that what I'm supposed to explain?
Those years were so bad. They were foul. They were years where the Mets owned the city. 69-73, both World Series appearance for the Yankees, for the Mets.
That's right. Yeah.
Joe Pepitone used to be the guy.
Oh, my God.
Beningo loves Pepitone. Bro, Pepitone's my guy.
But, that's all I can think of. And maybe he lives in the area. That's just, so he played, how old is he then? 67 to 73, so he's going to be... In his 70s.
61?
He's going to be in his 70s because he would have born early 40s, I guess, maybe even late 30s. So I just don't know anything about the guy. Has he been an executive or something? I've never heard the name. He sounds like...
Yeah, he's 70 years old, yeah.
Yeah, so...
It's wild.
516-572-7440, 516-572-7440. That's the number to call. It is 9:42, and you're listening to Sports Talk right here on 90.3 WHPC. We go 100% commercial free every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on 90.3. He's Cameron Bornagora. He's Nick Ornberger. He's Mark Tarkovsky. I'm Chris Muldoon. Tristan Hamilton on special assignment. Give us a call, 516-572-7440.
Quick prediction. Guess who's going to be joining Quinn with the Rangers?
Who?
Kai Puano.
No, he's not.
They played on the same team together.
I don't think so.
Wait, no, was that in college?
No, high school. They grew up in the same town.
It was Massachusetts?
Cranston, Rhode Island.
Oh, Rhode Island, okay.
I don't think so.
Where did Quinn go to college?
I think he went to BU.
Oh,
he
so
went to BU,
yeah. So now, are there any Rangers on the team who went to BU?
Shattenkirk.
All right, so he's not a bad player. So did he play for Quinn?
Well, Quinn was the assistant coach there.
Right, so he knows him.
Actually, I think Quinn coached him in Lake Erie, too, when he went to Colorado.
And my other question is, are there any great players in the NHL right now who went to BU?
Jack Eichel,
So I'm just trying to see if there's a connection, if there's someone they're looking at down the free agent line where they'd want to say, okay, let's keep an eye on him. We'll get his, it's a way to say, hey, come play with the Rangers here,
Brady Tkachuk is getting drafted this year. He went to BU.
Would he be where do the Rangers pick?
I don't think it will be available. The Rangers are at 9.
You know what's interesting? Last year when the Cavaliers made that deal with the Celtics, the Kyrie Irving deal, there was the Nets pick. Sorry, Mark. It was the Nets pick that was so important in that deal because everyone just figured it was a done deal. It was a fait accompli that it would be, number 1, number 2, right? In the end, do you see what number that pick is?
No.
Number 8. So that Nets pick is number 8. So when they go to give LeBron another guy, and I think we kind of think that LeBron is going to be done as a Cavalier, right? Unless they go and say, get someone at 8 that's going to make him, that's going to ride with him, shotgun. That's number 8. That pick, that much vaunted pick, the Nets pick that everyone wanted, winds up being 8, which is not exactly. With the Knicks pick 13, right? Isn't that right, or somewhere like that?
No, the Knicks also picked 9.
9. Okay.
Why are people so happy to be at the draft lottery?
I don't know. Isn't that weird? They let players go there. What's the point?
You should be upset that you're there.
And all they do is expand the lottery now. It used to be the lottery was like first 6, now it's first 9.
Which is nonsense. The lottery should be taken out. They need or be done in a more fair way.
It just goes to show how stupid. Because basketball is easily fixable and tankable. And
where'd they have it this year?
I think didn't they have it in Las Vegas? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Why can't they make it morbid like they used to do it and have it in Secaucus, New Jersey?
Well, I went to it when it was at Brendan Byrne Arena. I remember.